up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Miami. You guys, this is season 7, episode 6, and the episode is titled Major Red Flags. What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode number 6. And this episode is titled Major Red Flags. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, you guys, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us discuss the Real Housewives of Miami, shall we? All right, you guys, so I know that this episode is days late because, the episode aired on my birthday, so I wasn't able to get to it at that time. But I definitely do want to know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section, or if you guys are in the live, let me know what you guys thought about it. For me, it was a good episode. Actually, before I do even get into the episode, I do want to say congratulations to the ladies because I think it was TVD to reveal that they have been renewed for season 8, and season 8 is supposed to start filming in January. So congratulations to them. I think they said that they averaged 1.5 million views. So congratulations to the Miami girls. I'm happy for them. Now this episode, it picks up where we left off last week. You guys remember that the ladies were heading to Alexia's party, which is a narcissist party. I was like, oh wow. Okay, cool, right? So they all walked in, and then when you walk in, you see that there were some mirrors. And so some of the mirrors, actually not some of the mirrors, all the mirrors have things written on them. And I guess it's like talking about narcissistic traits and qualities and things of that nature. And I was like, narcissistic traits amongst a group of women who are selfish and self-absorbed, because every last one of these ladies is all about self. But I'm like, okay, cool, right? Now Lisa, when when Lisa got there, Lisa made a whole photo shoot out of the scenery, which it was beautiful scenery. And Lisa decided to have a little photo shoot. And I'm like, you know what, Lisa, girl, honestly, I'm not even mad at you for having a photo shoot. It's a photo shoot. Like, do what you got to do, right? So then we see as Lisa and Stephanie had a conversation with each other, right? So Lisa apologizes. Actually, no, Lisa didn't apologize. Stephanie apologized to Lisa. And then, they were talking about it in Stephanie's interview. She was like, I don't think she's going to be late again. And the producer was laughing. And Lisa was like, I won't be late I won't be late around Stephanie again. So then we have Kiki. So Kiki asked Larsa, like, where is she with Lisa? And Larsa says that, she has tried to talk to her and they'll have a conversation. And I was like, Larsa. Good morning, Sweet Pea 724. How are you doing today? Hope you are having a great Friday. This is Friday, isn't it, right, you guys? Yep, it's Friday. So then, oh God. So while they were having this conversation, right, Julia decides that she wants to chime in, and Julia decides that she wants to talk about, with she and Gertie, they sat down and they had a conversation with each other. And I was like, oh my God, Julia, shut up. But on top of excuse me, on top of telling Julia to shut up, I also wanted Gertie to shut up. I really wanted Gertie to shut up because Gertie was also getting on my last damn nerves, because it was like, Gertie. You please let Julia, like, my thing with Gertie is I like Gertie, but when it comes to Gertie always, in my personal opinion, you guys may disagree with me, but in my personal opinion, when it comes to Gertie always overtalks people. And she did that twice in this episode. And both times, I will say, it annoyed me both times when Gertie was over talking people, because she did it in this scene and she's gonna do it in another scene. So Alexia and this guru, shaman, whatever you want to call this man, I don't know what he is. He's nothing to me. I'm a just please nobody take offense to what I'm about to say, but I actually kind of agree with Lisa. Like, girl, this is giving witch doctor. Just being honest, right? So they decide to plan exercise, right? And so they all have red flags. And what they're gonna do is he's gonna read off a statement. And if you feel like the statement whoever you feel like this statement represents, you go put the red flag into that person's vase, right? So the first statement was constantly talking about themselves. And I will say also, majority of the flags went into Lisa's vase. And I was like, but the crazy thing is, all of y'all talk about it. Like, Larsa, you constantly talk about yourself, right? Alexia, you talk about yourself. Alexia talks about herself. Marisol talks about herself. Gertie talks about herself. Hell, even Stephanie, who is new to this group, talks about herself. But again, majority put theirs in Lisa's, and I was like, wow. Now Gertie as well as Alexia both put it in their own base. I was like, at least y'all got some kind of self preservation to know that, hey, I do talk about myself. It's like y'all want to sit here and put it all on Lisa, but it's not just Lisa. That's all this whole group does is talks about themselves. But whatever y'all want to, it felt like a pile on when it came to Lisa. That's my personal opinion. I definitely do want to know how you guys feel about it. Like, do you guys think that it was a pile on to Lisa? Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. But to me personally, it just felt like a pile on. So then this man had the nerve to ask Lisa how she felt about it. I would have been like, how do I feel about it? These helpers are supposed to be my friends, and here they are saying that they think that I talk only about myself. And I like the fact that Lisa was like, I haven't even, y'all, like after Kiki said Lenny last season, I haven't even talked about Lenny. I don't even talk about it. So, like, and I get it, right? And let's be real with each other, right? Two things can be true. Like I said, do Lisa talk about herself? Yes, but they all do the same thing. Like, let's take Larsa for example. Larsa has talked about herself when it comes to Lisa, Jody, and Marcus. That's been her whole thing for 6 episodes. So, and Alexia's thing for 6 episodes has been Todd, 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 Todd. Julia's whole thing has been about herself, but it's been about herself with the way Gertie, how Gertie is coming, right? I'm not going I'm not gonna say anything negative about Gertie because I don't feel anything bad about Gertie because Gertie is talking about her health. Stephanie. Stephanie has talked about herself ad nauseum. So what are we talking about here, right? So Larsa feels that Lisa thinks her problems are the biggest in the room. And Lisa was like, well, I don't know what your problems are. So what are you talking about? And she's like, well, if you answered the phone, then you would know. And that goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. It feels like to me, y'all all do the same thing. Y'all all probably call each other and complain to each other about different things. So y'all can't really just sit here and make Lisa be the focal person. Like, I'm just not, I don't agree with that, right? So then they started going back and forth with each other, right? So Lisa said, is that your Halloween costume? And Larsa says, you need to, Larsa told her to find a dress in your own size. I was like, wow. Okay. Petty, but okay, cool. So the second question was quick to take offense. So I have a huge eye roll for Stephanie because Stephanie immediately got up and went towards Lisa's face. I said, you're looking for a moment with Lisa, aren't you, babe? Okay. And Julia did the same. And it's like, y'all all are guilty of the same thing. But again, like I said, it really just feels like a pile on to Lisa. It really felt like a pile on to Lisa to me, right? So Alexia said Larsa, Marisol says Alexia, Adriana says Alexia, and Larsa says Alexia. At least y'all can have some kind of like y'all can own. I'm just upset that, and it's hard for me to sit here and defend Lisa, but I gotta defend Lisa because I feel like the ladies are coming at Lisa unnecessarily. Like that's really how I feel. Now you guys can tell me what you think and what you feel, and if you guys agree or disagree. But I really do feel that these ladies are coming at Lisa unnecessarily because what the fuck? That's just my personal opinion. So the third question is lack of accountability. Once again, I feel like all the ladies have a lack of accountability for things that they do. Julia lacks accountability for what she did to Gertie. Um, Larsa lacked accountability last season for what she did to Gertie when she revealed Gertie's cancer diagnosis, right? Um, like the list, oh, it goes on. Like they all lack accountability, but again, it feels like everybody wants to attack Lisa. And I was with Lisa. By this point, I would have been like, you know what, fuck this, fuck y'all, and fuck this whole thing because I'm out of here. Like y'all are not gonna sit here and pile up on me and gang up on me, right? So then Julia decides to ask this guy, how do you move forward when a friend tells you something painful and hurtful? And I was like, say what now, Julia? I said, huh? So, and I'm glad as at the same time, get a girl because because he was like, who was the friend or something up to that effect, right? And she says Gertie, and I was like, that's mighty convenient because you're leaving out what caused that action, Julia. You threw water on her, and she reacted to you throwing the water on her. So I wanted Julia to go straight to hell because, like, ma'am, you're trying it and you're doing the most. Like, I just was so confused with Julia, but Julia, like I said, she also pissed me off too, right? So then the last question was playing the last one was about them playing victim or something to that effect, right? And I'm like, but this is something that each and every one of y'all do. Y'all all are great at being victims. But they all once again feel like this is Lisa. And I was like, what the FUCK is going on here? Like, why? It was weird to me that it literally felt like a gang of, like, let's attack Lisa Day. And I didn't like it. But okay, let me know what you guys think, right? Let me know what you guys think. So Lisa and Larsa in this particular moment, they started arguing with each other. And I'm like, y'all, the problem when it comes to Lisa and Larsa, and I've said it plenty of times before, the problem with Lisa and Larsa is both of them are selfish, self-absorbed, and they don't hear the other person. So they're going to argue about what's going on with them and not ever hear what the other person is saying. And that is Lisa and Larsa's problem, that they argue to get their point across about how they feel and not even take into account how the other person feels about them in that particular moment. That's their problem. So the ladies went inside, and when they went inside, that would have been a point for me where I would have been like, you know what, I'm good on this. I'm gonna go home. You ladies have a nice day, and if I talk to you guys tomorrow, then I talk to you guys tomorrow. And that would have been where it is, right? So Gertie decides that she wants to be the mediator with both Larsa and Lisa. I was like, Gertie, please do me a favor, babe. Don't involve yourself with this. Butt out. Mind your business. Do something productive. Go have a snack. Go have a V8. Go have a Snickers. Do something. But mediating with these two ladies, this ain't it. And this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. But okay. So you see, as she's right there beside, listening to them, having a little commentary, side commentary, and I was just like, "Oh my God, girl, please stop." Now, Larsa, this goes to some of them questions that were asked earlier because you start this conversation with Lisa about talking about how you've been such a good friend to her and how Lisa has said you've been such a good friend to her, and I was like, "Is this your way of trying to like smooth things over with your friend, maybe apologize to your friend, because if it is, it really needs some work, right? So Gertie, she heard that and she decided to chime out. I was like, Gertie, please mind your business. Nothing was accomplished with that other than the fact that both Larsa and Lisa gave me a splitting headache. That is all I got from them two women, was a headache. So that was the end of the um the party. So now we have these individual scenes, and like no individual scene is that long. So I'm probably gonna breeze through them pretty quickly because the first scene we have up is with Julia. So let's go ahead and get Julia on the screen. Now, Julia's scene, we're talking about the boys. So at this point, Julia and Martina have not officially adopted those boys yet. It's still in they're still going through the process. So Julia is dealing with a social worker. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Looking at this thing with Julia, to me, is giving a little bit of Angelina Jolie. You guys remember how her kids, they're black. Not all of them, but some of her kids are black, and it kind of gave the Angelina Jolie feel to me. So the social worker asked Julia what has been the hardest moment for her, and Julia mentioned changing the diapers. But she also talked about how Martina's not, changing diapers, and I was like, so is Martina a part of this process with you with these boys? Like that's what I was wondering, right? So then a woman asked Julia about a male role model in the boy's life, and I was like, that's kind of an interesting question to ask when you have two lesbian women raising these boys. But my whole thing was, instead of asking her about a male role model, since these are two black boys, I don't know what country they come from, if they are from the U.S. or if they're from another country, but I would have asked the question of, what are you gonna do when it comes to their cultural influences. But hey, she didn't ask that question, right? So then Julia says that 10 days after she got the boys, that she invited some friends over and the boys saw them and they froze. Hell, I would too. I mean, one is an infant and one is a toddler. So they're not even, they're barely used to you and Martina's faces, and then you invite some people over. I would freeze up too. I would be terrified if I saw a bunch of strange people in a strange house that I don't know these people. So yes, I would imagine that those boys would freeze up. But okay, whatever. That's all we got with Julia. I'm gonna move on to the next person. Oh God, Stephanie. Stephanie. Good morning, Natalie. You say hello, all from Toronto. Oh wow, welcome. So Stephanie, y'all, when it comes to Stephanie, I'm just not really feeling Stephanie. I can come to that. I've come to that conclusion. Stephanie is not my cup of tea at all. So we see Stephanie. So Stephanie is having dinner with her parents, right? And Stephanie is getting ready to turn 40. Now, this ain't no shade to Stephanie, but I thought Stephanie was older than I really thought Stephanie was older than 40. I thought she was like in her late 40s, maybe going into her 50s. And it's really the way that Stephanie dresses that makes me look like, the way Stephanie dresses presents older. The way that Stephanie dresses presents older. Also with Stephanie. So Stephanie's dad and her husband, Masood. So Masood is 65 years old. Her dad is 67. That is weird to me. But I mean, if she like it, I love it. Like Natalie says, her grandfather hubby, no thank you. Like, yeah, I mean, if Stephanie likes it, then I love it for her. Yeah, they do have a slight resemblance. I do see it. I do see it, but I'm still not a fan of Stephanie's. So Stephanie also is talking about her sisters. Now, what I will say when it comes to Stephanie and her sisters, I honestly don't give a damn because we only have Stephanie's side of it, and this is very much reminding me of what's her name from New Jersey, Danielle Cabral. It's giving me Danielle Cabral because Danielle talks about her brother. Danielle talked about her brother for the last 2 seasons of Jersey, and we never met her brother. We never got her brother's side of the things. So the same way I felt about Danielle Cabral is the same way I feel about Stephanie. I don't care about her sisters and her drama. If you ain't gonna bring your sisters on so we can get it, then leave it on the playground. Natalie says it's in the face, and yeah, I do see it. I definitely do see it. But she's nothing like Dr. Nicole because Stephanie is annoying. Stephanie to me is annoying. Also, she said her mom and her dad have been together for 50 years. So congratulations to her mom and her dad for 50 years of marriage. Yeah, that's all I got with Stephanie. I honestly don't care. Nothing personal against Stephanie. She's just not, like I said, Stephanie, for me, I'm just not feeling her so far. But she really, like I said, she really didn't give much in her scene. And like I said, again, with her sisters, my whole thing is with her sisters, I just want I don't like one-sided stories, is what I'll say. I don't like a one-sided story. I like to hear all sides. And since we are not hearing from her sisters, I don't want to hear this story about her sisters. You say you like, yeah, I definitely love Dr. Nicole. Good morning, V. Spence. You said the fact that her husband is 3 years younger than her dad, I have no words, right? I mean, like I said, if Stephanie likes it, I love it. It ain't for me. And I ain't dated older, but I've been with older, I've been with older, but never nowhere near close to the age of my parents. But you know, well, maybe. Let's see what really happened tonight with the full unedited footage of the drink throwing. Yeah, I mean, I still think that Julia would be wrong because I mean, who knows? So next up, let's go ahead and talk about Gertie. Now, what I will say with Gertie's scene, I was when it comes to Gertie's scene, it was kind of emotional, but it because I felt how she felt and I felt how Russell felt, right? So Gertie and Russell sat down with a therapist, and I was here for the black therapist of it all. So the therapist asked them, when did they meet, and they said in 10th grade, which that is so cool that they met in high school and they're still together. I think that's really dope. So the whole thing is Gertie wants them to be able to move forward in their relationship from the standpoint of Russell being her caretaker. I get where she's coming from, and I understand that. I think that's going to be something that and I agree with the therapist. I think that they both need individual therapy because there are things that Gertie's dealing with, and there's probably things that Russell is still dealing with. To go from, and I feel like it's going to be hard for him with him being a first responder, and then so his thing is always to want to help people, and I think that that's what it is with it. And then it's even worse that it's his wife, and that his wife was going through cancer, and that's not something that he can fix himself, right? So I get both, and I get Gertie is like, I've gone through it, I've beaten cancer, and I want us to get back to the spot that we were, before cancer. And I honestly feel like it's going to take some time for both of them to get to where they were in life before cancer. I agree now. I like Gertie. I like Gertie, but I can also say Gertie gets on my nerves at times. V says, I love the relationship. Russell is still having PTSD. He is. Her husband was a firefighter for years. Yes. And I think that that's part of what, like I said, I think him being a first responder is also part of, that's just who he is, right? So Russell talked about how hard it was for him with Gertie going through cancer. Yes, I know it was hard for her, and it also has to be hard for the spouse to sit there to watch, the person that you made vows with, right? And watch them go through chemo radiation and all that stuff, because that is poison to the body because it's making you ill, but it's also fighting the disease in your body. So I get where he's coming from, right? So Gertie then talked about a time where she was over the whole chemo journey and she was just like, if it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. And I hated hearing that, but at the same time, I understood her. Not, I've never been through cancer myself, but I do know I've had family members that have gone through cancer, and I've had family members who definitely got to that point where it was like they were tired of fighting because they didn't feel like they just they were giving up because, like I said, that chemo is not good for your body. So yeah, but Russell's told her that he needs her and that the boys need her, and that's what kind of snapped her back in. It's like bringing the work home 10 times because it's your person you have to care for. Yeah, and I think that's why, and that's why I say I think that they both need individual counseling, because there's some things that he's dealing with as well as Gertie, right? And with Gertie, we got a little bit deeper into Gertie and why Gertie is the way she is, right? We realize Gertie is a, a control freak. She likes to, try to fix things and solve problems. And so she explained how she came to this country. And I was like, okay, Gertie, that's why you're the person that you are. Because she felt like when she came here to this country, she didn't have any control. She had no say so about what happened. And I was like, that makes sense why you are how you are today. And she even said in her interview, I was like, that's exactly why you're the person. Is it a bad thing? No. Can it be much at times? Yes. And that's the thing when it comes to Gertie. I think that her always wanting to control things and wanting to solve everything, I think that it can be overbearing at times. But I also know that she comes from a place, of just wanting to solve it and wanting to fix it right then and right there. But like I said, it can be annoying, it can be overbearing at times. But that's it with Gertie. Um, I'm gonna continue to pray for Gertie and wish nothing but positive vibes and well wishes for her. And let's wrap this episode up with Larsa of it all. So Larsa and Lisa, the most self-centered people on this show, they sat down with each other, right, to have a conversation about what's going on with them. So Larsa wants Lisa to come with an open heart and an open mind and to accept responsibility. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, so are you going to do the same thing, Larsa? Because yes, you say Lisa has done stuff to you, but you've also said and done things to Lisa. So pot meet kettle. it it baffles me when it comes to Larsa how she wants so much from her friends, but in the same regard, you don't give what you ask for from your friends. But okay, we'll see how this goes, right? So then Larsa talking about she's never been thrown out of somebody's home before, and I was like, Larsa, do you remember why you were thrown out of Lisa's house? Because you called Lisa a bitch. If you call me a bitch in my house, you will be thrown out expeditiously, and you might also be bruised up because I beat your ass. So Larsa, go to hell. Like I can't stand when people do stuff like that. Try to be like, oh, you threw me out, but then forget the cause. Cause and effect. You said this, so because you said this, I asked you to leave my house. I don't get Larsa when it comes to that, right? So then Larsa said that you talked about them in Milan and them getting into a heated argument with each other, right? So Lisa says, well, we got into it because you they got into it because Lisa said that Larsa was the one that was behind the paparazzi taking a picture of Marcus over there in Paris. And Larsa says that she's full of shit. So Lisa says, well, the paparazzi told us that you were the one that did that. And I was like, oh. The problem with Larsa and Lisa is, again, like I said earlier, they argue with each other, but they're arguing about themselves. They don't hear the other person. It's always me, 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 me. Never, let me hear what you got to say. Let me hear how you feel. It's always about them and only them, right? So Larsa says that she's been a better friend. She's been a better friend to Lisa, and that Lisa is running low on friends. Now, Larsa, I'm gonna ask you this question, and this is not a shady question, but it's just a question nonetheless. So you were friends with the Kardashians for like over 10 years, right? But at this current moment, those ladies don't acknowledge your existence. So you can't be that good of a friend if those women don't fuck with you. And as long as you kiss those women's asses, you stay in their good graces. So you're no longer friends with the Kardashians anymore. But we all know why you're not friends with them anymore. But hey, so that means you're not that great of a friend. But hey, I'm gonna let Larsa have it. If Larsa feels that she's a great friend, she is a great friend. So Lisa got pissed off at Larsa. She left the table and she went and called Alexia, right? So Lisa is venting to Alexia. Meanwhile, Larsa's back at the table listening to y'all's president talk about Kamala. And then she was also listening to something about style, equestrian chic. I was like, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at Larsa because I was like, wow, your friend just got up from this table because she was pissed off and upset with you. And instead of you going to check on your friend, you do everything else but check on your friend. Okay. I mean, whatever, Larsa. Cool. So then Lisa was in the restaurant, right? And I cracked up when that man came over to Lisa and told her that she was too loud and that she needed to step outside. I hollered. Vice Minister says I had four members of my family. You said your aunt, uncle. Are we talking about the cancer? But yeah, that shit was funny to me when Lisa had to go outside to take that phone call. I cracked up laughing, right? So Larsa and Lisa went back to the table where Larsa was, right? And Larsa, in my personal opinion, gave a half-assed apology to Lisa, but Lisa accepted it. And we'll see how things proceed forward with these two. Honestly, I don't really. I mean, if they move forward, cool. If they don't, then I'm. If here's the thing, if Lisa and Larsa love it, I love it too, right? I did too. That had me hollering. That shit was funny to me when that man said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're a little loud." I couldn't do nothing but laugh because it was too funny to me. But yeah, you guys, that is the episode of Real Housewives of Miami. So I'm gonna get off of here, you guys, because I gotta go watch OC. And so OC will be up. We will go live today for OC at 2 p.m. Central Time. I may push it out to 3 p.m. Central Time. So it'll be 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Central Time. So if that's on respectively on the East Coast, that would either be 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Because I also got to do record. I just finished watching Divorced Sisters, so that review will be up momentarily, as well as Let's Get Into the Blogs and They Cutting the Food. So yeah, you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Also, Beyond the Gates, I don't know if really B and I are going to be doing it this weekend. So expect a pre-recorded review from me for Beyond the Gates, and then I guess if really B is not able to do it this weekend, we can double up next week. And I think next week, is it this week? I don't know who's hosting. I don't know if it's her week to host or if it's my week to host. But either way it go, we'll work it out. And I will catch you guys in the next video, you guys. So stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, you guys. And also, you guys, I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys who responded to me on my community post about my birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if you responded to my Instagram stories, thank you guys so much. I had a great birthday. And once again, thank you guys for the birthday wishes. And I am going to catch you guys when we come back for the Real Housewives of Orange County. See you guys then.